Hello guys, again. Um, Continuing on with this breaking up of the video. I wanted to update you on my health. I think that's pretty much why everybody's still watching my videos, since that's what kind of made all this happen. Uh, I don't know the right words for it. I'm sorry, I have chemo brain. I just had that this week, so it's especially true. I can't think fast enough, and I can't find my words fast enough, and some other things. So just bear with me here. I'm not as smart as I once was. Let's put it that way. Bad news on the health front. I just had my second week of chemo, second month. I get it. The first or second week of every month, but it was delayed this month because of bleeding clots in my spleen. It was very serious, and I really thought that I was going to die. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said that since I ended up with cancer, or even the autoimmune disorder. I really thought I was done for, and so did my mother and some of my doctors. But again, I mean, I can only attribute it to God that He pulled me through that, just like with the liver failure. It's amazing that I'm still here after all of this, and I have nothing to do with it. I might look like, you know, hell, but I'm still here. Plan to be here for quite a while. No signs of slowing down, not anytime soon. So the health update will take a little bit longer, obviously, a bit more detail. So it happened, it was probably a long time coming because I noticed the symptoms. Once I realized what they were, I realized that I had been experiencing them for weeks, and they were just gradual. They just got gradually worse. And but you can't find what you're not looking for. So it was just like with the liver thing. I didn't know what I was looking at, so I didn't know what was going on. Uh, what happened was that my spleen started to fail, because it ended up getting what they call splenic infarcts, or splenic infarctions. Um, Similar to when you have a heart attack, or they call that what, or not a heart attack, but when you get blood clots in your lungs, they call it pulmonary infarction. That's blood clots in your lungs. Pulmonary is your lungs. But everybody's probably heard of that. Splenic, spleen. Okay, so that's the only difference. Well, obviously the organ is different, but anyway. So it started the third week of April. I went in to get platelets at a lab at Shadyside Hospital, and one of the ER docs came up and checked me out because the lab workers were uncomfortable with giving me blood and the amount of pain that I was in, and everybody thought it was a kidney stone because of where it was and how bad it was, and it was just awful. It was in my back first, and then it went to the front and inside down into my groin, and it was just bad. I mean, everybody just thought I was passing a stone. But so they took me to the ER, they admitted me. They did all kinds of tests, and then they admitted me, and they said that I had splenic infarcts, and they were bleeding. So there were more than one clots in the spleen, and they were all bleeding. So that's where the pain came from. They said that I had blood in my stomach, which is agonizing pain, and I didn't know that. I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know your spleen could feel pain. I didn't know that your stomach could feel pain in that way. I had no idea. So, yeah, it was quite an experience. They drugged me up quite good, actually, to the point where I really didn't know where I was for a bit. I couldn't communicate. I couldn't. recently I was accused of it's funny, of saying what I really thought while I was high on pain meds, whereas, you know, if I was sober, you know, wasn't on them, that I'd have this inhibition that I wouldn't say stuff like that, that wouldn't say what was on my mind. And I'm like, I have video proving that I didn't even know where I was half the time when I was on the pain meds, so that's crap. Um, that I don't even remember, you know, it was all a blur. And truthfully, I mean, there's bits and pieces that I remember of being in the hospital both times, and still, I mean, I talked a lot of stuff that I don't remember. And mom videotaped some of it. I don't remember it. I not this is stuff that doesn't even make sense. So how could I mean it? I mean, it's just so stupid. Whatever. So, um, so anyway, I'm at 5 minutes here. Um, so basically, I was admitted twice for the blood clots themselves, and then the referred pain that traveled. The first time it traveled from here to up here on my shoulder, and then the second time, let's see. No, the first time was here, was hospitalized initially for the clots, and then the referred pain up here. They didn't get the pain management right. So I was admitted and stayed there another week for that. And then the third time I went was the ER a few days later after I was, a few days after I was discharged the second time. And it was for this, where my liver is here and my right shoulder, which I still have pain. It's this shoulder and here is where I still have pain. But because it was my liver, I was freaking out. So, and that was another time of going and getting blood, and actually got it this time, and then went to the ER myself. Um, and they didn't find anything wrong. I was freaking out, but they didn't find anything, so I refused to be admitted. And there's no way. Like I was to the point where I was like, I'm done with this place unless I'm dying. Unless you find something in my liver or whatever, I'm done. I'm not gonna stay here another second. And to be honest, I mean, they gave me so much pain meds at that point that I thought I was gonna die just from that. Excuse me. I thought they overdosed me because I didn't know where I was. I didn't know whether to breathe, or I didn't know what to do. Like bodily functions, I didn't know what to do. Um, and they gave me technically what they gave me I'm allergic to, so they had to give me Benadryl on top of it, and each one of those, you know, kind of induces the other one, and not induces, but you know, it intensifies the other one, so the push and the high and the everything is just intensified with both of those together, and it just sent me over the edge, and mentally, emotionally, physically, I was numb. It was bad. I never want to feel like that again. Um, and I'll talk about the flip side of that in another video. But so they finally got it right. So I'm in palliative care now. Um, so far, so good. As long as I keep on my pain schedule, there's nothing that they can do for the spleen except to wait for it to heal. I mean, unfortunately, it's one of those organs that it's not like the liver. It doesn't regenerate itself, and you know, you you just have to wait till it heals. It did stop bleeding 3 days into my first hospital stay, so that's a good thing. And they've taken other tests and determined that it's not bleeding anymore, and probably won't continue to bleed or whatever, won't start again. So that's a good sign. And of course, you know, if I get that really bad stomach pain like I was getting when it was bleeding, then that'll be a for sure sign, and I haven't had that, so that's a good thing. So continue the prayers, please, because that, I mean, above all else, that helps. And I think I'm living proof of that. I should be dead twice over now, 3 times over now, probably. So, and I'm still here. So that should tell you what prayer can do. I'm a walking miracle 3 times over. So I will see you guys on the flip side, and talk to you later. Bye.